Whether you use lead nurturing software or devise your own cross channel lead nurturing strategy, a clear marketing vision from the get go can help you redefine how sales and client retention interrelate in your business. According to Time Magazine and Bloomberg Business Week, the most successful entrepreneurs and small businesses use lead nurturing and data integration to drive performance. They also use clear KPIs to improve their conversion rate by only focusing on the right target audience, thus deploying technographics data to boost social presence ranking, market share, web traffic ranking, and long-term revenue growth. To achieve similar goals, here today the lead nurturing ultimate tutorial for explosive sales growth and learn when to contact prospects, what to say, which baits to use, and when to back off, get lost, or stay put. Well, stay tuned. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to hear from you today. I'm very happy to talk about lead nurturing today. I hope you are doing wonderful because I am doing marvelous. If you are doing marvelous as I am, please grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Now, we want to talk today about a very important topic, lead nurturing. Before we even start here, let me just give a quick shout out to our millions of viewers in the United States, Canada, and overseas. Particularly today, we have Samuel Palmer, Ali Bell, and Molly Cox. All three here from the beautiful city of Westminster in the United Kingdom. Samuel Palmer, Ali Bell, and Molly Cox from Westminster, UK. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your encouragement and your support, and we really appreciate to hear from our millions of viewers and listeners and fans throughout the world. So let's jump right into it. Now, the thing here is that what is lead nurturing, right? This is the question that a lot of people have asked. For sure, this is not a new topic, but right now it is becoming more and more important because we are living in a globalized environment here. So lead nurturing, simply defined, is the process of developing relationships with buyers at every stage of the sales funnel and through every step of the buyer's journey, right? So you want to focus on you want to focus your marketing and communications effort on listening to the needs of prospect and providing the info and answers they need, right? So, you have let's say you have a visitor to your website, right? You have an anonymous visitor. Lead nurturing will allow you to convert that anonymous visitor into a known visitor, and from there on you can develop a new lead opportunity, which will later become an open opportunity, and then ultimately, if things go well, you have a one opportunity, right? So that's the process, really. So the things here is that you have to understand that if you on average, this is one thing that I want to drop right now, a statistic. On average, 50% of the leads in any system are not ready to buy. That's Marketo who said that. And that basically almost 80% of new leads never become sales. And that statistic, it's from Marketing Sherpa. Now, McKinsey, the consulting company, has done a lot of research around leads, and they realized that marketing and sales need to get together to develop a lead scoring strategy to pinpoint where a particular lead is within the brand's buying model. It's very important because this is the cornerstone, if you will, of a strong lead nurturing system. Why? Because it helps you identify when and how to address each buyer with the most timely and relevant communication. Now, this is very important. Now, I want to really talk about a few things here to sort of plant the decor, to plant the foundation of today's conversation and what we are going to talk about. Now, one thing I want you to know is when we talk about lead nurturing, we have to look at several ways to score a lead. You have to score a lead because, again, like I tell you, 80% of new leads never become sales, right? So you need to have criteria where you can just score the lead, and so you can actually allocate more resources and energy and time and money into pursuing those leads, right? Now, there are 4 ways you can really sort of classify, you can really categorize leads. Now, there's one thing called lead fit, right? Lead fit describe in a nutshell how well a particular buyer matches the brand ideal prospect, right? So let's say you're trying to you are selling, you have a car dealer somewhere in Kansas, right? So a lead fit will be, for you're trying to sell a car, you want to sell a car, so you want to make sure that you want to find out how well a particular buyer matches your dealership's ideal prospect. If you want the person to be a male, 35 years old, have a good job, a 6-figure salary, this kind of stuff. So if you find someone that matches this sort of ideal prospect or usual buyer, then that's a lead fit. Now, the thing here is that you want to think about, when it comes to lead fit, you want to think about demographics. I talked about that. So the buyer's job title, the company size, the location, years of experience, this kind of stuff, right? You want to talk about, there are also something that's special is called firmographics. So we talked about the demographics. We also have firmographics or firmographics. So firmographics means that anything that relates to the company. So the company's name, size, location, annual revenue, that kind of stuff, right? The last thing you want to talk about is the company or the lead's ability to buy. So you want to think about the lead's financial situation, right? The lead's financial status. So can the lead afford you, right? Does the lead have the authority to purchase this? Is there a need you can answer? And how soon? How soon does the need want to buy this thing? So in the industry, some industry players call it BANT, B-A-N-T. So budget, authority, need, and time. How quickly does this person want to buy something from you? Now, this is very important, folks, because lead nurturing, as with most new technology, as with most new digital strategies, comes from poor understanding of its long-term marketing and economic merits. What I'm trying to say here is that lead nurturing, if you do it right, and most people don't. Right now, a lot of small businesses don't. According to a recent SBA, Small Business Administration report, a lot of small businesses are still trying to figure out what the different stages of their sales funnel and what really constitute a sales funnel for them. Now, is this something that can be changed overnight? For sure, definitely. As long as you adopt the right strategy, you listen to this show from beginning to end, you are going to be able to transform first of all, understand your sales cycle, create an effective sales funnel, and you can basically power your lead nurturing strategy consequently. So we talked about lead fit. Now let's talk about lead interest. So you want to track online behavior to determine how attractive your brand is to a buyer. This is actually the next stage of lead scoring, right? The first stage of lead scoring is lead fit. Is this person, my ideal buyer? Does he or she have the authority to purchase, and can he or she afford my products, right? Second thing is lead interest. So lead fit, number 1, lead interest, number 2. Is the lead spending a lot of time on my website, right? Is the lead engaging with social networks? So what you want to do is, again, you can do this in Excel, or you can acquire lead nurturing software. You want to assign numerical values to some of those behaviors, right? So that will tell you the lead's interest. Number 3, and very critical here, lead behavior. We want to know, you want to start to closely monitor the lead behavior. That will tell you if the lead is serious about buying or just grabbing some data here and there, right? Because the last thing you want is somebody wasting your time. So you want to just be in the position to say clearly if this person is interested or not. So you can assign, if we want to go back to our numerical sort of scoring thing, you can assign lower values to introductory behaviors like clicking through blog posts, or higher values to action like downloading gated content, right? Or registering for a webinar, right? Because this tells you the lead is interested. If someone were to come to your website and download gated content or register for a webinar, you know their interest is high compared to someone who just clicking through blog post, right? Through blog post. And the fourth stage of lead scoring here is you want to look at the person, whether or not they are in the buying stage and timing. So the thing here is that you want to really sort of determine if this person, by aligning their behavior with the top, middle, or bottom of your sales funnel, you can determine if they are ready. So you always want to attach higher score to clicks on pricing sheets and products demo. This is very important, folks. I'm going to repeat it again. Anytime you see someone clicking on pricing sheets and products demo, you can be sure that this person is interested, really interested, for real. So because of that, you are trying to attach a higher score to that. Now, lead nurturing in general is very important because this is a good source for increased opportunity in terms of market share, client retention, or client attraction, if you will, revenue boosting. We're here to explode your small business sales or your business sales in general, right? So you want more sales and fewer lost opportunities. All right, we'll be right back right after this. Don't go away. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy today. I just hope that you are having a blast right now with this show, because we want this show to be a blast for millions of business owners. We want them to have fun, to learn. Sweetie Kiwi is meant to be an infotainment show, information and entertainment. Today we are focusing on the information part of the spectrum here. And in the first section, I talked about what is lead nurturing, right? Now I want to talk about nurturing leads with content marketing, how to use content marketing to nurture leads. Now, for those who just joined us, I just want to really sort of give you a foundation, if you will, an intellectual foundation of today's conversation. Whether you use lead nurturing software or devise your own cross-channel lead nurturing strategy, a clear marketing vision from the get-go can help you redefine how sales and client retention interrelate in your business. According to Time Magazine and Bloomberg Business Week, the most successful entrepreneurs and small businesses use lead nurturing and data integration to drive performance. They also use clear KPIs to improve their conversion rate by only focusing on the right target audience, deploying technographics data that boosts social presence ranking, market share, web traffic, ranking, and long-term revenue growth. To achieve analogous goals, here today, and that's what we just started doing, the lead nurturing ultimate tutorial for explosive sales growth, and learn when to contact prospects, what to say, which baits to use, and when to back off, get lost, or stay put. Now, how do you empower your lead nurturing strategy with content marketing? Now, lead scoring may be the backbone of a successful online marketing strategy, right? A lot of research has proven that. Research by Deloitte has shown that. Research by Booz Allen Hamilton has shown that. But content marketing is pivotal here. Now, in a global marketplace where purchasers and clients and buyers are increasingly wary of ads and increasing self-educating through the funnel, content marketing has really stepped up to the place to give brands a voice. This is very important. Now, what is content marketing, you might ask? Or you're not asking, but I'll tell you anyway. So, content marketing here in this context, it is the process of creating relevant and valuable content, right? And this, content that attracts, engages, and serves your audience, right? Because you're trying to really satisfy the needs, you're trying to fulfill the needs of your audience, right? And by content, I'm talking about everything from written, so a blog posts, to infographics, to videos, to pictures, whatever it is that you produce. This should be meant to attract, engage, and serve your audience. Now, let's talk very quickly about content marketing and email, right? email marketing is still one of the best ways to communicate with your audience. Right now, this is very important because a lot of research out there has shown, for instance, the Direct Marketing Association has shown that email marketing has an ROI of 4,300%. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? Email marketing has an ROI, a return on investment of 4,300%, according to Direct Marketing Association. So email marketing, email, I don't care what people say, but the facts are here. That email remains one of the most direct way to get specific content to a specific lead, right? But one thing you have to understand is that relevant email marketing needs to encompass a series of things, right? It has to come from a trusted source, right? You want to make sure that the lead trusts the source of the content. It has to be relevant. It has to be conversational. Don't try to use some sort of convoluted, complex English from Oxford while talking to your buyer, right? Make sure that the tone and the voice of your email is conversational, right? And because we're not talking to PhDs here, right? Even though I'm not saying I'm not telling you to dumb down the level of the language here, but you want to say something that is appealing but also very, very clear. You want to make sure that you also use email marketing has to be strategic. It has to be part of a strategy here. You want to boost sales. That's the bottom line, right? So don't try wasting a lot of time on fluffiness or introductory things that they have nothing to do with your sales. So make sure that you are very clear, you are coordinated, conversational, and strategic. Okay. Now let's talk about, you can do content marketing on several places, right? You can do content marketing on your brand's website. And this is basically your home base, right? If I want to use a sports analogy here, your brand website is your home base. It's your online home base. So you need first to have a robust SEO strategy, right? Because that's where everything starts from. And you want to continually, track those leads at every stage of the sales funnel. In other words, of the buyer's journey, right? Now, there are 3 areas of your website where you can develop a super duper powerful content marketing strategy. Now, you can have something called the strategic landing pages, right? Like sometimes you see, you type something in Google and then you see on top you have a list of ads. You click on it and it just lands you into a landing page. No wonder it's called a landing page, right? It lands you into a page. So that has to be strategic. So what you want to do is you want to have some keywords and user intent combination so that Google or Bing or any other search engine think that you have demonstrated authority on a topic of interest, right? Not just a keyword here, but a topic of interest. That's why you see people are trying to, we live in a world where people are doing everything to become subject matter experts, not keyword expert, no, subject matter expert. So a topic of interest. Now, so you can do content marketing on your landing page. You can do content marketing in your blog. This is very important. Blog is a quintessential tool for keeping website content fresh and updated, right? Because on a website, usually you have what I call lethargic content. That's everything from about us to product and services to whatever is happening. But if the blog is the quintessential tool to keep the content fresh and updated. Now, you also have something called the resource center, right? So you can have resource center or FAQ, frequently asked questions. So this is basically the resource center, if you will. Very clearly, it's an online library, right? This is where you just put content, you provide explanations on every topic, and what you do is you strategically organize and present those pieces of info to create a killer user experience. This is very important because your goal again is to market. Your goal is to brand yourself, to brand the business. So you have a few a few pieces of real estate on your website where you can market your content very, very well. Now, let's talk about content marketing on social media, which is also important, right? You can take your content strategy to social media. Now, one thing you have to understand when it comes to social media, you require this sort of strategy entails a varied kind of creativity, right? Because the social networks are different, right? So if you take Facebook or YouTube, you have a large there's a large gap, there's a large dichotomy there, right? So strategic social marketing doesn't mean you have to produce, all content for each channel. You can actually repurpose the same content for different channels based on the rules and based on the engagement you see on those channels, right? So for instance, you can actually have a blog that you post on your website, and then when it comes to Pinterest, for instance, or Instagram, you can transform that into an infographics, right? Or into some kind of nice infographics, and you can do a little 20 minutes or 15 minutes video about it and post it on YouTube. And when it comes to Facebook, you can just do a combo of all the above, right? So remember that there are a few things you have to really think about here. Make sure that you always add value, right? Have a strong CTA, a call to action, right? Make sure that you have good content. This is key. The most important thing also is that don't take yourself seriously. Again, remember what I told you earlier. Try to keep things conversational. Be playful. Be sometimes childish. Again, the idea here is not to be childish and laugh and just go home and say, oh, kumbaya, peace and love. No, you have a clear strategy, and your strategy is to sell, is to increase your brand presence, is to increase lead engagement, is to increase client engagement. Those things should be quintessential in your strategy. Those things should be quintessential in your sales blueprint. And if you do it right, by having a veneer, if you have a veneer of playfulness, but underneath that veneer of playfulness, you have a strong and solid and robust sales strategy, sales blueprint that needs to be executed. All right? I'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm just having fun. I'm just having a blast right now. I hope you also. I can't see you though. I wish I could. Welcome back. For those who just joined us, we are talking about lead nurturing, a very important topic that needs more explanation, more conversation, and unfortunately, a lot of small businesses make the mistake of sort of ignoring that particular part of the sales funnel. So if you just joined us, please consider subscribing to our channel. We drop beautiful shows once a day or twice a day, depending on how we feel. And turn on the notification bell so you are informed in real time by the Google algorithm, so that anytime we have a new show, you can just come and just enjoy. Like this show if you believe we're adding value to your business, to your life. Share it with people who might be interested. We really always are interested in gaining new members in our community, the Sweetie Kiwi community. Comment below, give us your feedback, give us your opinion about this important topic. We also want to say that, please, if you can, watch the ads that are inserted into this show, because this show is ad supported. We need the resources to be able to find a lot of stuff, to hire more people in the production team, to buy new equipment, to be able to go on site to do investigations and reporting. And what's very important for us is to always produce high quality, free content. All right? Okay. Now let's move on, and we want to give a shout out to our millions of viewers and fans and listeners across the entire world. Particularly, we're thinking about Hezekiah Farley. She is I'm going to show that Hezekiah Farley in Canberra, Australia. Avery Dalton in Canberra, Australia. And Kayleen Leon also in Canberra, Australia. So we have Hezekiah Farley, Avery Dalton, and Kayleen Leon, all in Canberra, the beautiful city of Canberra, Australia. Now, one thing I want to really say here is that the third section of this show, we want to talk about automated email programs, how those will really lead into how those will boost your lead nurturing strategy. Now, remember, software engineers are a dime a dozen out in Silicon Valley, right? They're cheap, they're common, Likewise, email software features are also a dime a dozen in today's global marketplace. You find them everywhere. Now, the thing is, you got to choose the right one, and you got to choose one that does some specific things. And I want you to really pay attention there, because the last thing you want is to buy an email software or something email marketing software rather, that does not fit your operating strategy. Automated email programs, they help engage your prospects over time. Now, this happens through a series of email workflows, right? Because remember, your number, the prospects that you have, there aren't just numbers in a database, right? Those are individuals. Those are people. All right. That means what? That means they have unique priorities, unique interests, idiosyncratic personalities. They are at different stages in the sales funnel. This is very important. We live in a global yet hyper personalized marketplace, right? So everybody wants to be treated as a VIP, even if they're not ready to buy, right? So don't blanket those leads with one-off emails, right? Automated drip marketing campaigns, can help you solve that problem. You want to be able to plan out interaction pathways that makes prospect feel understood and feel personalized. They feel they are receiving a bespoke experience, right? So you want to base everything on their behaviors and preferences. Now, you can use email marketing software for that. They can really help you, and this happened through what I said earlier. It's called automated drip marketing campaigns. All right. Now, you also have automated nurture campaigns. So those automated nurture campaigns, they allow you really, in essence, to automate key processes and tasks that are critical to your campaign success. Now, of course, those are incredibly, I'm not even going to get into details here, but it's incredibly labor intensive when you do it manually. So that's why you want to get software. You want to get lead nurturing software. So with that kind of software, you can do things like you can drag, you can sort, you can click, you can point, you can drop your weight, you can do everything. And you can actually even set up lead nurturing, segment list, score, you can distribute lists, you can do the whole 9 yards, right? You can even trigger offers when someone performs a specific action. Remember, the cool thing here is that we want to automate things, right? So that you can be anywhere. You can be in Bali on vacation, or you can be in Nairobi on vacation, and still the software is working for you, right? You can be sleeping and snoring. The software is working for you. That's what we want. Isn't that beautiful? That is beautiful. I want to hear you say that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Beautiful. So now let's talk about this. Let's really kind of explain to you how you can use automated nurture campaigns to make more sales. Now, you want to use the software to be able to deploy automatically based on your pre-programmed rules, right? So you can set rules to automatically trigger emails, update data fields, sync lists, score priorities, and those things. What happen? The beauty of this is that you have something called self-perpetuating campaigns, right? So those are happening all the time. That's what I just talked about. You are out on vacation, but the software is working for you through self-perpetuating campaigns, and those deliver targeted, bespoke messages at an enormous scale, and there's no hitch. That's just beautiful. There is no hitch. So if you have 1 million people in your list, they will be receiving that. So you can, with automated lead nurturing software or automated lead nurturing campaigns, you can actually segment the email list. You can have trigger programs. You can have multiple score sheets. And most importantly, you can cultivate the hottest opportunities so that you don't lose opportunities. You don't lose sales, right? This is very important. So and I'm just going to close on this section here. The bottom line here is the takeaway from this particular section is that if you have the right email nurture campaigns, they will help you deliver timely content and offers to leads based on where they are in the funnel, their attributes, what actions they take, and more. Right? And this is key, so that you waste no time or less time. You are able to respond quickly to any questions or any interaction that the lead has, and you are able to score a win. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still continuing our conversation here about lead nurturing, and now I want to talk to you about how a powerful email engine can help you again process your sales, process the interactions on your website, and all that kind of stuff. Now, before I jump into the nitty-gritty here, let me just very quickly again give a shout out to our millions of viewers. Today we just wanted to acknowledge as many viewers as possible. Ethan Diaz, he is in British Columbia, Canada. Alexandra Meunier, she is in British Columbia, Canada. And Xavier Fafard, she is in BC, of course, British Columbia, Canada. So Ethan Diaz, Alexandra Meunier, and Xavier Fafard, all in British Columbia. We love you. Thank you so much. Now, I want to talk now about how a powerful email engine can help you. How email, as part of the lead nurturing software, email engines can help you get to your goal faster. Now, a recent study by KPMG, the consultancy, argued that digital transformation has helped businesses improve their digital processes, but also use lead nurturing to boost operational processes, business model, and customer experience. Right now, is this across the board? I'm not so sure about that, but I know based on the study that there is incredible potential there. There is incredible potential in using powerful email software as part of the lead nurturing software to boost business model, customer experience, and ultimately what? Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. More growth, more revenue, right? More money in the bank. That's what I'm talking about. This is exactly what it is, right? So if you use the email search, the email engine within lead nurturing software, there are a few things you want to use. Again, here I'm not really endorsing any provider, because all lead nurturing software, at least the latest one, they offer the same thing, give or take. It's really nearly the features are similar, so there is no differentiation. There are some basic functionalities that you would expect, and those are the one I'm actually explaining to you here, right? So, and of course, the rest is up to you to do the research, see what really fits your operational needs, see what really works in your industry, and so on and so forth, right? So right now we want to talk about some of the functionalities you can see in an email software, which makes it which makes it crazily superb for your email marketing success. Now, you have something called adaptive sending, right? So adaptive sending, what it does is that it allows you to analyze and learn each contact's behavior, or on when they open, click, and convert by time of the day and day of the week. In addition, it also allows you to deliver your emails to each recipient at his or her most optimal time based on historical engagement data. This is very important, right? Because the last thing you want is to send an email to someone who's about to sleep, or send an email to someone who is just ready to get out of the office, right? So you want to send the email at a very optimal time based on historical engagement data. Now, there's another thing that the software allows you to do is easy template creation. So lead nurturing software, email design software, makes it easy to build and send messages. So you can use a drag and drop interface. There's no HTML coding required to create responsive messages that look great on any device, right? We are in the era of the mobile device, of the tablets, of the phablets, of the laptop, of the desktop, of the television. Some of our viewers watch this show on their television. So this is very important to by the way, a big shout out to those who are watching from the TV. Really appreciate that. So you want to have a responsive email message, right? Now there's another thing called template catalog. So you can use, based on the campaign you want to initiate, you can use a specific template, right? You can even do A/B testing and optimization. So if you don't know which subject line or call to action will resonate best, you can use an automated A/B testing tool so that you can ensure the best possible results are met for your campaign, right? Now, there's also something called transactional sending, where you are, in essence, delivering real-time operational and system communications to customers. And you do this regardless of opt-out, and you do this regularly, right? So you can trigger things like purchase confirmations, quarterly reports, system notifications, and much more. But the beauty of that is that you do everything through one platform, really. Okay, so this is really what I wanted to talk to you about, this powerful, how to use email software, if you will, to boost your lead nurturing and to really create a solid and robust plan around it. All right, we'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. We are still here talking about lead nurturing and all the beauty about this wonderful subject. And if you just join us and you are trying to understand the intellectual framework from which this conversation started, I just want to say, here it is. Whether you use lead nurturing software or devise your own cross-channel lead nurturing strategy, a clear marketing vision from the get-go can help you redefine how sales and client retention interrelate in your business. According to Time Magazine and Bloomberg Businessweek, the most successful entrepreneurs and small businesses use lead nurturing and data integration to drive performance. They also use clear KPIs to improve their conversion rates by only focusing on the right target audiences, deploying technographics data that boosts social presence ranking, market share, web traffic ranking, and long-term revenue growth. To achieve similar goals, here today, and I'm sure you are hearing it today, the Lead Nurturing Ultimate Tutorial for explosive growth. And you want to learn also when to contact your prospects, what to say, which baits to use, and when to back off. For real, get lost or stay put. All right? Okay. Let's talk now about number 5, which is number 5 is trigger emails. Now, you would have noticed that it's very important. A lot of this conversation is around emails, and it makes sense because, lead nurturing goes through emails. And once the person is an actual buyer, then everything is fine, right? But lead nurturing goes through email marketing. Before we continue, again, I want to quickly give a shout out to we have a lot of good listeners and viewers who are constantly flooding our inbox with the very, very positive content, and we want to give them a shout out. So I have Aaron Gallagher, South Haven, Mississippi, Aaron Williamson in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Tilly Bell in Meridian, Mississippi. Wonderful. Aaron Gallagher, Aaron Williamson, Tilly Bell, we love you all the way in Mississippi. Thank you. Now, one thing you want to think about is, if you're thinking about taking a rain check on email marketing, I would say don't do it. Do it now. Don't take no rain check now. This is the time for you to start thinking about lead nurturing and do it in a very, very specific and methodical way. Why? Because you have millions of small businesses who are trying to make ends meet. We're trying to serve their customers, but the most successful ones, According to the SBA, the Small Business Administration, those successful ones are businesses who have engaged followings and know how to use that engagement to encourage followers to try certain brands. Not just their brands, but certain brands. But I'll come back to that little one. But what I wanted to say here is that they have mastered the art of lead nurturing, and they are, using that engagement to encourage followers to do everything, to buy their own company stuff, but also to try other brands. This is called cross collaboration in the industry, but this is something that is very capital. This is very, very, very pivotal here. All right. So let's talk now about trigger emails. What is a trigger email? So the thing here is that, research has shown that triggered emails average 400% higher open rates and 100% higher click-through rates than business as usual email messages. So, with proper software, you can set up trigger emails to be sent to prospects or customers based on specific actions like filling a form, registering for an event, or just abandoning a shopping cart, right? Let's say somebody comes to your website, to your online store, they spend 30 minutes looking for stuff, and somehow they did not complete the commercial action. They didn't buy. So you can send them a trigger email, right? Now, this is very important, folks. It's very important because you want to strike when the iron is hot, right? And you want to get more ROI from your email campaign. This is very important, right? So event trigger emails are exactly what they sound like. So those are based on specific events, right? Like I said, such as an action taken or not by a website visitor, right? So this is very important. Let me just give you a couple of a couple of trigger email campaigns. For instance, you can have something like confirmation messages, right? You can welcome emails. You can send welcome emails to new subscribers, thank you notes for making a purchase, or just taking a survey. That's just the basic, if you will, trigger email campaign. You have another one that could be something like it could be an event campaign, right? So you have a series of triggers that go out before or after an event or webinar, right? And what it does is, this is very beautiful. The beauty of this kind of emails is that it reduces non-attendance and increases opportunities for continued conversations, right? So if we are in the holiday season, that Black Friday is getting closer. You want to have a series of triggers that go out, or we are like around Christmas, that kind of stuff, right? So you are in what I call the love business, where you sell stuff around romance, and Valentine's Day is coming. You got to start thinking about trigger email, right? So another trigger email campaign you can do is a shopping cart abandonment. This is a biggie, right? Because people come to your website, they look at something, and then they just change their mind, or maybe they were just distracted. The dog was barking, or there was like another show on TV, and they just forget about that little thing that should have brought you more ka-ching, right? So you want to send a trigger email in the form of an alert to a visitor who has left items in their shopping cart. Okay. You also want to construct your trigger email campaign around things like personal messages, right? Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, that kind of beautiful stuff, right? Now, the good thing about trigger emails is that it increases customer loyalty, right? This is very important, like, because your customers are thinking, wow, they've thought about me. I can't believe it. They remember my last name. They remember my last name. Of course they remember my last name. They remember my birthday, or my dog's birthday, or my husband's, birthday. So these things are it increases customer loyalty. People feel like a VIP. Another thing it does is it boosts brand relevance, right? So trigger emails boost brand relevance. Trigger emails also increase operational efficiency because, listen, you are automating everything, right? So you are saving time, right? And the thing here is that all you got to do is just set up your trigger campaign, turn them on, and let them work for you while you spend your time focused on other things, right? Like strategy and campaign performance. the fourth benefit that trigger emails have is they help increase revenue, right? So basically, from top to bottom of the sales funnel, as well as post-purchase and more, trigger email campaigns, they offer endless benefits, endless opportunities, whereby you can engage with prospects and customers at the very, very precise time when they are thinking about your brand, right? Because folks, it's all about timing, really, if you think about it, right? At the end of the day, it's all about timing. You can have the right strategy, you can have the right product or the right service, but if your branding is not in your customer's mind at the right time, they're not gonna buy. They're not gonna buy right away, right? They might probably buy 2 or 3 days later, or 2 or 3 weeks later. But in the meantime, something else might happen, and they might change their mind completely. So it's all about timing, right? So another thing that you want to do here is that, let me just give you a few sort of best practices, when it comes to trigger email campaigns. So, when people download content from your website, you always want to send a thank you trigger that invites them to ask questions and provide an email link for that. So somebody downloading your content, just don't leave them on the hook or off the hook. No, you want to thank them, but within that thank you note, thank you email, you want to insert another trigger, right? So if they click for example on let's just say they click on a specific link in their content, you want to send a trigger related to that particular link. Now, you also want to target prospects who aren't moving through the funnel, right? They just got stuck somewhere at some stage in the sales process. Nobody knows what's happened with them. You probably want to call the FBI to find out what they're doing there. Or you want to call your district attorney, blah, blah, blah. I'm just kidding here. But the most important thing here is that you want to send a trigger email with a special offer to see if you can get that particular prospect re-engaged. So you want to see if that lethargic prospect can be resurrected, right? One thing you also want to do is don't take your existing customers for granted. Don't take them for granted. You might lose them. So people who have, folks who have already bought from you, they are your very best leads for an upsell, because that's what you want, right? You want an upsell. So, if a client buys, you want to send that client, you want to send him or her a confirmation trigger email thanking them, right? So if you ship a product, this is also a good opportunity for a trigger email. Let him or her know when to expect, the product, and you can even perhaps include a tracking number. This is very important. So one thing you have to understand is that if you know by any chance that your customer tend to buy similar products, send a trigger email about one that's often purchased, right? So that's very important, because you got to set up a few things, a few rules, and let the software, the lead nurture software, takes care of the rest. Execute it automatically and keeping track. All right, I will be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm just doing fantastic here. I'm still, having fun talking about this very, very interesting topic, which is lead nurturing. And before I start, I just want to give a shout out to Shannon Jordan. She is in Chesterfield, Missouri. Adam Rose, O'Fallon, Missouri, and Maisie Elliott in Columbia, Missouri. Now, I want to talk now about lead scoring. I talked earlier about lead scoring, and this is a very important topic. Now, you have to understand that for small businesses across numerous industries, gaining a foothold in social media or in email marketing increasingly means building campaigns around influencers. What I'm trying to do here is today I want to show you a quick secret, and you don't have to build any campaign around influencers. You don't have to go out there and try to build something around social media where you rely on another person to draw leads back to your business. You can do this through a good cross-channel strategy. And if you have the budget, buy lead nurturing software. Usually it's part of a CRM software. Okay. Now, how do you basically, do the lead scoring? I spoke a little bit about that before, but now I'm going to go deeply into what it means really. Now, one thing you have to understand is that leads are not created equal, right? Some people are ready to buy right now. Some leads are ready to buy right now. Like if you just woke them up, you woke them up at 3 a.m, they are ready. The credit card, debit card is ready. They are ready to buy. And some leads, they will likely to be ready soon, maybe 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And some leads are just entering the funnel. And other leads are just dead. They're lethargic. They're not acting now. Lead scoring, as I said earlier, but now I'm just detailing everything here. Lead scoring makes it easy for you to sort out the hot from the not. Let me repeat that. Lead scoring makes it easy for you to sort out the hot from the not. It's very important, right? Because you don't want, again, the last thing is you don't want to basically waste your time, resources, your staff, everything, focusing on somebody who's not ready to buy, right? So a good lead scoring systems, they sort of monitor online and offline buy signal. So what they do is they actually monitor those signals, and this monitoring increases the marketing team's ability to pass qualified leads to sales, and by so doing, helping sales focus time and effort on the most likely buyers, right? So with lead nurturing software, you can basically enter predetermined criteria such as the person in the industry, job title, content downloads, event attendance, form completion, that kind of good stuff, right? Website visit, that kind of good stuff. So you have to really, what types of criteria should you consider? Now, there are gazillion of criteria out there if you think about it, right? But we want to focus on a few. So explicit criteria. So explicit criteria, it's basically data provided by the individual. So they entered this in a registration form or survey. So this could also be quote unquote obvious information, right? That's taken at face value to be true. For instance, the revenue, the industry, the location, the company, the job title, the budget, time frame, past purchases. Those things can be sourced. That sort of data can be sourced from other websites, especially if the company is a public company, right? So that's for explicit criteria. You also have implicit criteria. So those are scoring factors based on observed or inferred behaviors and interests. For instance, webinars attended, content downloaded, web pages visited. This means that it's implicit in the sense that you are inferring based on their behaviors and interests that they might be interested in purchasing, right? So for instance, if a lead makes repeat visits to a product page known to be a critical step in the buyer's journey, strong interest and strong appeal of that product can be inferred, and the lead given a higher score based on this behavior, right? You can also have negative criteria. So we have explicit criteria, implicit criteria, and negative criteria. So you can consider negative a specific implicit or explicit criteria, right? So typically negative scores are applied to characteristics or action that indicate that the visitor is not a lead. Like, let's just put it this way, and this visitor should not be treated as a lead. So if for instance, if you have someone who comes to your website and they constantly visit your About Us page or your careers page, they're not interested in the company. So this basically, you can give that person a negative score, right? So that they will never reach lead status. This is very important, right? So remember, you can have unique score sheets or multiple score sheets depending on how many leads you're trying to track and how many and how big your database is, right? Now you can also have a strategy where you focus your follow-up efforts. right? You want to focus your efforts on the hottest leads and close more sales. So the idea here is that by scoring the leads, you are in a position where you can construct a blueprint for marketing success. Not only marketing success, but also for financial success, because you can sell more, you can attract more leads to you. You are only focusing on again, I'm going back to the Pareto principle, which says that 20% of leads will actually, provide 80% of the sales, or 20% of customers will provide 80% of the sales. If we were to apply this Pareto principle to lead nurturing, just think that if you have 10 leads, maybe 2 are the hottest deals. And you want to focus on those 2. And while doing that, you want to continue tracking the other 80%, the 8, and see if, some kind of movements or some kind of a behavior or an event has made or can make their status change. So this is very key, folks, right? Okay. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to come catch you right now. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of Sweetie Kiwi. This is fantastic. This is great. We are still talking about lead nurturing. If you've been listening to this conversation so far, and you like the idea, you like the content, please consider subscribing to our channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you are informed anytime we drop a new show. We do so every day, sometimes twice a day or 3 times a day. It really depends, whether we are just relaxing, chilling, or just we have the resources for it. So please do so. Like this content, share it with people who might be interested, who might need this sort of content right now. Please comment below. Give us your feedback about lead nurturing. Tell us if you have used lead nurturing in the past, how things went. Share the wealth, the intellectual wealth, with the Sweetie Kiwi community. All right. Now, if you just are wondering what kind of conversation we're having, I just want to quickly give you the intellectual framework of today's conversation. Right. Okay. Here it goes. Whether you use lead nurturing software or devise your own cross-channel lead nurturing strategy, a clear marketing vision from the get-go can help you redefine how sales and client retention interrelate in your business. According to Time Magazine and Bloomberg Businessweek, the most successful entrepreneurs and small businesses use lead nurturing and data integration to drive performance. They also use clear KPIs to improve their conversion rates by only focusing on the right target audience, thus deploying technographics data that boosts social presence ranking, market share, web traffic ranking, and long-term revenue growth. To achieve similar results, right? And this is why you're here. Please continue to hear until the end. The lead nurturing ultimate tutorial that we're giving you now for explosive sales growth, and learn when to contact prospects, what to say, which baits to use, and when to back off, get lost, or stay put. All right. So we talked about lead scoring in the previous section. In this section, I just want to make sure that when it comes to operational strategy and marketing effectiveness, please make sure to bundle up. Make sure to bundle up, because it's getting cold out there. It's getting cold into today's global marketplace when it comes to email marketing. You have fewer leads that have been chased by a phalanx of players. You're not the only one. Don't ever think you're the only one. You're not. So because of that, you want to have proper lead nurturing. Now, this is why I want to talk to you now about CRM integration. And CRM integration is a powerful tool for brands, but too often small businesses, mid-sized companies, they neglect a key component, which is good client relationship management. Let me repeat that. This is very important. CRM integration is a powerful tool for brands, but too often small and mid-sized companies neglect a key component, good client relationship management. Now, client relationship management means CRM, which is why I want to show you now how you can integrate that lead nurturing strategy into your CRM. right? So now, granted, most major CRMs nowadays, they allow you to integrate your lead nurturing software with their platforms, because what they want to do is they want to allow you to coordinate your sales as well as your marketing initiatives throughout the entire customer life cycle, right? This is very important, because by doing that, by having anything integrated, your marketing team can easily pass qualified leads to sales, right? And sales can send the leads that aren't quite ready to make a purchase back to marketing for additional nurturing, right? In addition to that, by having such software, you can even, like the software here in this case, this is the CRM software, it can automatically update fields, right? It can assign owners, it can create tasks, it can create priorities, that kind of stuff. So now, if you do the integration properly, this is something is going to happen if you do it properly, but you got to do it properly. The thing that you want to do here is that by having on one end lead nurturing software and on the other hand CRM software, you are able to increase lead visibility. Now, I'm not telling you to buy those two types of software. You can actually have one. If you have the proper CRM software, most of those advanced one, the latest one, they come with lead nurturing embedded in them. So you can actually use for lead visibility. You are able to reach out warmly and effectively, and you can, with insight into a lead's interest and pain points, which is very important. What is the pain point of this lead, right? Based on what? Based on the pages they visited, the content downloaded, and the sort of chat, if they do the sort of chat they had with your chat bots, So you want to, having that intel is critical, because it allows you to engage those leads through targeted account activity. So you can set up alerts that immediately notify your team when a particular person or company visits a target page, right? Or performs a specific action. For instance, they filled out a form, So if you combine that info with the visitor entire activity history, the marketing team and the business development team can utilize that data for segmenting targeted accounts. And by doing so, it becomes so easy. It becomes really, really easy, easy peasy lemon squeezy. It becomes easy for sales afterwards to engage with a potential buyer, because he or she has already provided the data that the sales needed to sell to him or her. Another thing I want you to pay attention to here is lead prioritization. You want to prioritize your leads, right? You want to drive sales productivity, and you want to increase follow-up success. So, of course, as I said earlier, you want to transfer the hot opportunities, the hot leads, to sales seamlessly in the CRM the moment that those leads are acquired, right? While the rest go to lead nurturing programs. Again, only the hottest leads will go to sales, right? The rest will go back to La La Land, the lead nurturing La La Land, where they are nurtured. They are being nurtured. They are taken care of. They are being, you do everything to keep the conversation going on, right? So that's why you want to send that info. So generally, lead nurturing software forms are tied directly to your CRM. That's what I said earlier, right? So you can push everything with the flip of a switch. Nothing complicated, nothing long, nothing too time consuming here. All right. Now, one thing I want to say also here is that once you have the hot prospects, you don't have to, it becomes a no-brainer for sales. That's what I said earlier. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Did I say easy peasy? No, easy peasy, right? So sales no longer has to waste time asking the question, who do I call first? No, right away who to call, because those are the hottest prospects. All right. Now, so we talked about lead visibility, lead prioritization. Now let's talk about lead follow-up, right? You want to basically empower your sales to have better conversations with that. So if you have the lead nurturing software through your CRM, basically it makes the conversation easier for sales. It also maximizes engagement while personalizing the whole experience. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back here talking about this beautiful topic about lead nurturing. And one of the things that I wants to make sure is that, this conversation, this tutorial is giving you tools and approaches and tactics that are dirt cheap. They are extremely inexpensive here. So, you don't have to break the bank. As a small business, we are focused on small and mid-sized businesses in our shows. So these things that I'm giving you are dirt cheap. Now, you want to know first what you want before going there in the market and trying to acquire them, right? So let's talk now about smarter segmentation. Because, as you know, this show is part of a Sweetie Kiwi initiative exploring how technology and digital media are reshaping the practice of client retention, client acquisition, this and sales growth. So we really are exploring these things. So smarter segmentation here is the next section I want to cover. Now, before I do, as you know, I love giving a shout out to our fans, right? So Joanna Hendricks in Good Silver Bowl. This is Montana. Thank you. Ishan Potts, Great Falls, Montana. Aspen Hollow, Hamilton, Montana. So Joanna Hendricks, Ishan Potts, and Aspen Hollow in Montana. We love you, love your families, everything. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the help. We appreciate everything. We appreciate everything. We actually love our viewers, listeners, and fans. It's just amazing. Like, we have millions over the world in the States, in Canada. It's just amazing. Even in Germany, in some non-English speaking countries. That's just fantastic. Now, with the proper lead nurturing software, you can do a lot of stuff. You can create, adapt, amend, segment, and you can deploy lists with ease. All you got to do is just import those lists from your CRM. You can even perform, A/B tests. The bottom line is you don't need a database administrator. You don't need that. So you can create highly targeted email campaigns. You can target email marketing lists, and you can create targeted email marketing campaigns. Now, one thing you want to do here is, and this is very important, you want to target prospects by what matters to them, right? Because this is really what it is, because segmentation is really the juicy stuff here that helps you make your email messages personal and relevant to your unique audiences. And while you do that, you are boosting directly and indirectly prospect engagement and increasing conversion, right? So you can create, you can combine profile attributes. You can go by, title, departments, location. You can combine things with observed behaviors, right? So whether the prospect downloaded ABC content, visited a specific page, or attended a webinar, right? Those things are very important. And you can even add a specific time frame, right? Something like 14 days, 7 days, 1 day, and so on and so forth, right? So the good thing is that you want to make sure that you target the prospect by what matters to them. For example, let's just say that you discover that somebody has downloaded your content, different contents, twice or three times, right? Or this person is interested enough to attend 2 webinars. Well, maybe it's the right time to send this group a special incentive to buy now, right? Of course, you need to pass the data to sales, right? But sales, while formulating, while constructing the correspondence, the next step, sales has to think about how to make sure this becomes a sale, right? So you also want to do something that's very important. You want to pick the appropriate list and send the email with confidence. Now is not the time to be scared of anything. No, with the proper lead nurturing software, you can rapidly create a list that is segmented by any combination of factors in your database, right? Of course, you can add personalization to boost the relevance of your message for each recipient, right? But the bottom line is that you have to act. You can even do A/B tests. You want to make sure that things are working. Things are on the right step here, are on a good pathway here. Now, the third thing you want to do here is that you want to go beyond email marketing with marketing automation. Email marketing, I've said this before, the power of this approach increases measurably when you combine it with marketing automation, right? Because at that point, it becomes an integrated support tool for your other initiatives, right? Now, with the right platform, you can build, nurture email programs, right? And you do that to inform, educate prospects as they progress through the buyer's journey. You can even construct event-triggered emails, right? And what it does is that it really just sort of acknowledge prospects' actions, right? So that you are able to tap on that and do something else. You can also build something called drip email campaigns, and you do so to automate scheduled emails over time. So sometimes you get in your email those things like free trial series. You sign up today, you get, or discounted series. You can also use email to promote and manage webinar attendance, and you can automate email webinar follow-up from a single platform with complete ease. Again, this is what we're talking about, right? We're talking about easy peasy. So really, you want to use this lead nurturing software to achieve all these elements. You can even, and this is the beauty of this is biggie, you can compose personalized bespoke correspondence, personalized email with dynamic messaging to send the right message in your segmented campaigns and at the right time. Most importantly, at the right time. All right, we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks. We're still here discussing a very interesting topic, and I love this topic. I love everything related to sales, lead nurturing, that kind of stuff. Okay, we're still here, and I want to. The next section is covering funnel reports, and I want you to think outside the box here. Because things have changed so much in the last few years. In the early days of discussions about lead nurturing, digital transformation, or online sales growth, it was common to paint a broad picture of what lead nurturing or digital transformation might accomplish. Now, time has really passed, and researchers now have volumes of data to corroborate, the effectiveness of a good lead nurturing strategy. And an important part of that strategy goes through funnel reports. Now, if you just joined and you're trying to ask yourself, why are we having this conversation? Let me quickly give you the context here. Now, whether you use lead nurturing software or devise your own cross-channel lead nurturing strategy, a clear marketing vision from the get-go can help you redefine how sales and client retention interrelate in your business. According to Time Magazine and Bloomberg Business Week, the most successful entrepreneurs and small businesses use lead nurturing and data integration to drive performance. Clear, right? They also use clear KPIs to improve their conversion rates by only focusing on the right target audience, thus deploying technographics data that boosts social presence ranking, market share, web traffic ranking, and long-term revenue growth. Now, to achieve similar goals, I want you to continue hearing this show. The show is about the lead nurturing ultimate tutorial for explosive growth, and it will teach you when to contact prospects, what to tell them, which baits to use, and when to back up, get lost, or stay put. All right. Now let's just move on and talk about the sales funnel, because this is very key. This will help you understand what the whole lead nurturing strategy boils down to. So, funnel report. If you do proper funnel reporting, you can watch the progress of your leads as they journey through the path to conversion. And you can do this with easy to understand funnel reports, right? Because the funnel reports, they provide more than instant insight, right, into the appropriateness of your marketing initiatives. The good thing is they also make it possible for you to uncover gaps in the conversion process. So by doing that, you can also accurately forecast sales, and you can determine thoroughly and methodically and exactly what campaigns are driving revenue, right? So what is funnel reporting? Funnel reporting, very basically, it's just a way to display visitor data collected from the sales or marketing funnels. So what happens is that, the data is siloed in multiple clusters, right? So, it makes it a time-consuming challenge. But the thing is, if you do it manually, you are going to waste time. But if you have it automated, that's perfect, because funnel reports let you see your conversion flows at a glance in real time and across time, no matter how systems your data is stored in. So you get immediate insight into the true effectiveness of your marketing efforts. It also gives you a comprehensive understanding of your lead to revenue conversions, and as well as the info, the critical data you need to optimize your outcomes. This is very important. So once you have the proper funnel reporting, data silos are no longer a barrier between you and your funnels. This is very important. Now, what are the benefits of funnel reports, specifically marketing funnels? There are gazillions of benefits, actually. While researching this show, we have seen more than 20 or 30 benefits here. Now, we're only showing you a few here, but the benefits is that you can measure the lead flow and velocity of your prospects as they move through the pipeline, right? You can monitor prospects through key conversions you define. And this conversions or criteria could be things like, anonymous to known, prospects to qualified leads, opportunity to won, deal. The kind of stuff, right? You can create models from high level to fine tune to help you better predict the buyer's journey, conversion timelines, uncover process gaps, more accurately forecast near and long-term sales, and much more. You also have wonderful operational flexibility here. Because again, the software, the lead nurturing software, the marketing funnels in that software, they are designed with the flexibility to track engagement based on your unique business criteria. So this is basically up to you how you want to, if you were to acquire this kind of software, it's up to you to know how to integrate it into your ERP or your CRM. So, your ERP is your enterprise resource planning software. That's if you have one, because the bottom line here is that you want to be able to track customers or prospects rather, as they transition from marketing to sales over a specific time frame, right? All right, we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to Sweetie Kiwi. We're still here. We're still having a wonderful time, and we wanted to give a shout out to Leona Dixon. She's in Bellevue, Nebraska. Maxima McLeod, Grand Island, Nebraska, of course. Vivian Flores. She is in Papillion, Nebraska. This is a wonderful name, Papillion. Wonderful. All right, folks. The conversation is still going. We are talking about something very important. Lead nurturing. This is the difference between those small businesses who are constantly making a killing in the market and the rest of us, or those who are not, right? So you want to train your sales team about lead nurturing. Please don't tell me, I've never given it much thought. No, now you know. You need to train your sales team about lead nurturing. Why? Because I've been talking to you about lead nurturing, how crazily effective it is, how you can make money, you can just, all these things. But your sales team is the ultimate sort of agent, or ultimate department whereby sales have to go before you get that ka-ching in your bank account. So you need to train your sales team when it comes to lead nurturing. And the good thing is you can use the software or anything else actually to get there, right? You can use e-learning to your advantage. So you have a series of e-learning platforms that will allow you to educate your team on things like new products, procedures, and company policies, right? Remember, you need the team, you need to train your sales team, because with proper training, they will be able to pinpoint the most important clients, to highlight the most prevalent client issues or concerns, and they can also educate themselves, right? Because if there are other questions that arise, they know how to do that. So bottom line here is that you want to be able to train your sales team. You can do it in-house, or you can outsource it, right? So there are a lot of things you can do. Now, if you want to outsource it, then it's just straightforward. Now, if you want to do it indoors, in-house, you want to use the data from the resources section of the lead nurturing software that you have, or the CRM that you have. You want to use that to generate data or social media data for training purposes, right? It could be software data or social media data for training purposes. You want to create a strong, efficient sales team, and you want to empower the department, by giving them access to the best training and resources so that they can grow your business, right? And while you do that, the beautiful thing here is that it allows your team to be so confident and proud, right? This is very key here. So that's good. You want to also while doing that, make sure you keep the training sessions short, right? Nobody wants to attend like a 3 or 4 hour training, right? Because the human mind, after a while, I don't even know if it's 90 minutes or 15 minutes, the human mind just kind of shuts down temporarily. Especially we live in an era where people have shorter and shorter and shorter attention span, right? So you want to make sure that it's very short. Now, the sweetest spot is 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour. All right. So you want to basically, think about that. I'm not even telling you, like the recent studies, they have shown that, over the course of an hour lecture, there is an 8 to 15 minutes window in which students are in their most focused mind. After that, they're just drifting away. And this, no matter how compelling the material is, there will always be a lapse in attentiveness, and this happens. And maybe right now you are losing some attentiveness while listening to me, right? Right? No? Yes? Okay, here we are. We're still talking here. So the bottom line here is that you want to train your team. You want to train your sales team. You want to incorporate data into development, because the sales department should always be reflecting on their performance, right? You want to give them the tools for them to understand whether or not they are just doing right, whether or not they are making progress, they are being productive, they are bringing a lot of ka-ching into the company, whether or not they are still matching, they are still fulfilling their responsibilities. This is key, folks. This is very important. So just make sure that you are able to tap into the data that you have and transmitting that data to your HR department, which then will create something about, training and development, or something that will allow the sales team to be one step ahead. All right. We will be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks. We are near the end of this today's show, but we still have a lot to talk about, right? I mean, I'm not going anywhere after this show, so I hope you're not a party animal who just want to listen to me and just like, okay, I'm just going to go and just relax and just, no, we're talking here about, sticking till the end. And the thing here is that, you want to choose the right software. You want to choose the right, lead nurturing software, because believe it or not, there are so many legacy systems, too much technical, infrastructure out there, and too many functional and business unit data to overcome. And the best way to do this is to either do things manually or by purchase software. And I think in this particular day and age where things move so fast, it will cost you more money to basically hire human beings to take care of your lead nurturing data. Now, let's quickly do a recap. But before we do the recap, let me just tell people who are just catching us at this particular juncture what we've been talking about. So whether you use lead nurturing software or devise your own cross-channel lead nurturing strategy, a clear marketing vision from the get-go can help you redefine how sales and client retention interrelate in your business. According to Time Magazine and Bloomberg Business Week, the most successful entrepreneurs and small businesses use lead nurturing and data integration to drive performance. They also use clear KPIs to improve their conversion rates by only focusing on the right target audiences, deploying technographics data that boosts social media ranking, market share, web traffic ranking, and long-term revenue growth. To achieve similar goals, you have heard today, because we are probably at the end, you've heard today the lead nurturing ultimate tutorial for explosive sales growth, and you have learned today when to contact prospects, what to say, which baits to use, and when to back off, get lost, or stay put. So, what's the recap here? The recap here of today's show is I went through lead nurturing, I defined it, I talked about how to nurture leads with content marketing, how to use automated email programs, how to use powerful search email engine in the lead nurturing software, trigger emails, right? Lead scoring, very important. How to integrate CRM to your lead nurturing system, how to do smarter segmentation, funnel reports, and lastly, but not least, I talked about how to train your sales team about lead nurturing. So now let's move on to the CTA. For me, CTA is a very important section here because the call to action is key. Now, we all know the popular quotes that says information is power, right? And some people even say that even a child knows. Now, this saying may be powerful, folks, don't get me wrong, but nowadays it just has become a cliche. Because for me, information is like certainly power, right? But action is omnipotence. It's all powerfulness, right? Supremacy, if you think about it, because doing things is what moves the world. Doing things is why you are currently where you are. And doing things will be the number one reason why you will reach the destination you want your destination to be. So act today and start moving in your life in the right direction. Start moving your life in the right direction. So to get you started, here are a few things I recommend you do. Perform a deep audit of your websites and social media platforms. Hire a consultant or buy lead nurturing software to help you evaluate site effectiveness and SEO adaptability. Automatically identify companies visiting your website. Prioritize leads based on how they engage with your content. Connect with key decision makers and pass qualified leads to sales. Understand what marketing activity and content delivers high value leads. Deliver your sales team high intent in-market decision makers. Right? This is really pretty much it, folks. I was very happy to talk to you. I will see you next time, and enjoy. This is the end. Oh no, this is not the end. We have the pro tip. Okay. All right. Here's the pro tip. Right after this. Here is today's pro tip. Recent research has shown that 87% of companies already use lead nurturing software as a standalone application or as part of a larger software suite, CRM for example, to design, automate, and improve critical workflow, as well as to create their omni-channel content marketing. Starting today, learn to only use and manage the data you need to create great marketing materials, and don't clutter your workflow with unnecessary product data. Thank you. That was it, folks. Thank you. I will see you next.